Hey everybody, welcome back. This is a response video. I was asked if I could show some of the tools I use when I'm carving. When I'm carving spoons, cups, cookses, bowls. I was not axed. I'm thinking axe. I was asked to do this by my partner in crime up in Western New York. Yes, the one and only Miss Bonnie Cave of Sunset Bay Bonnie, who probably at the moment is doing her drawing for her 500 sub giveaway. So she wanted to know what I use, what I could show her, and kind of recommend to her what I use when I carve. Um, I haven't carved anything really recently. I tried to do a spoon last night to kind of show, and I ended up splitting it, getting pissed, and well, it's uh, it's now this, yeah. And I did it from a piece of magnolia wood, which is a shame because it was really really pretty. I don't know if you can kind of see the grain in that or not, but it would have made a pretty spoon. But as I was coming down the side very gently with it, it split. So I'm gonna make it into something. So let me get the camera reset up here and my tools out, and I will show you, Miss Bonnie, what I use. Okay, be right back. Okay, Miss Bonnie, here we go. Now, this is what I use when I do wood carving or wood crafting. Whoops, sorry about that. I didn't mean to bump into you. I'm in my cave out here, and it's a little cramped, and I have this board with another tripod underneath it, just barely holding it up. So if everything goes south, that's why. All right, back to the task here. Like I said, this is what I use. She wanted to see what I used to do my woodcraft. I am not recommending, I am not promoting anything like that. It's just basically what I use and what works for me. Now, people have been carving since the Stone Age. They've been whittling. Oh, I live down south now, whittling. And the knife really wasn't even the issue. They used what they used. They used what they had, and it worked. But nowadays, everybody's consumed with, it's got to be, high carbon steel. It's got to be a high end knife to get the job done, yada, yada, yada. Well, I can tell you that that's not true. There are certain tools you need to perform certain functions in the wood, but there's also other ways to get around that. Now, I prefer, all right, let's take this Mora I have here. I prefer a Scandi grind on this Mora Companion for a lot of the carving I do, only because it has a very comfortable grip. Non-slip, my hand's not going to slip off this knife, because when it comes to carving, and especially if you're using hardwoods that are seasoned and dry, it's tough. So you're going to want like a little finger guard here, and you want a comfortable handle. Otherwise, your hands are going to tire, you're going to get careless, and you're going to get hurt. Trust me. But I like the Moras because they have the Scandi grind, and you can get a lot of leverage and get a lot of wood off of the project that you're working on. But by the same token, you can also do fine detail with it. I've used this knife on every spoon I've ever carved. I would show you the spoons, but every time I make them, somebody wants them, so I'm fresh out of spoons. So yeah, the Scandi grinds are what I like the best for like I said, getting large amounts of wood off and carving down and even some fine carving. But you have to make safety an issue when it comes to carving, because I know you use a lot of cherry and harder woods, and you want a good grip, a non-slip grip, and you want to be safe. I've been bit by many a knives carving, and it's not fun. Okay, so let's put this Mora away. And the Mora, uh, reasonably, reasonably cheap. It's not like you're going to be spending $100 on a knife and something happens to it. I got this for like $16. So there's the Mora. The second knife I use is an Open L. Open L number 8. And I like this because the blade locks, if I can get it out. The blade locks, so I know it's not going to come back and bite me. Now, on the Open L's, they have like a flat grind. A flat grind is good for fine detail, taking off minute slivers of wood, getting in, to where the bowl of your spoon meets the handle and doing carving. So I use an Open L number 8. Now, I use basically high carbon steel blades because I like them. I like how they last. I like how they sharpen. Not saying that you can't use stainless. Stainless is fine too. It's all on what you're comfortable using. So those are the two knives that I basically use. I mean, I have my Condor Mini Bush Lore, which is a great knife, again, because it's comfortable. It does have a Scandi grind on it, and I can get in there and I can push and do fine detail. And this knife runs around $30. So I'll use that once in a while, depending on what I'm doing. This one is one of my favorites. I was using this last night. This is a Mora 511, and I like it because it has this finger guard. Because the plastic handle is rather slippery. This is like, I don't know, a $12, $13 knife. But I was using it last night, and I was taking off just massive amounts of wood, but then I was able to get in there and do some fine detail before the wood split on me. So it all comes down to basically Mora. If you don't want to spend a ton of money on blades, they work fine. This is a Mora Classic number 1. I think I got this for like $14 on Amazon. The only thing, I mean, I love it as a blade. I carry it a lot, but the handle is very smooth. There is no guard here. I do have to do some work on the handle. I'm probably going to sand this red paint down and put some grooves in here so it's easier to hang on to if I'm out, or if I just want to sit and whittle or, play around with some wood. Now, another thing, I mean, I don't really have to get into tools I use to split the wood that I'm making the spoon blank with. Obviously, you can use your axe. You can use just, your basic knife that you have. This is just my Condor Bush Lore. I used last night to split the magnolia that I was using. Sometimes when I go out, I'll even take like this lockback. This is a Bear & Sons lockback made in the USA. Sometimes I'll just throw this in my cargo pocket and take it out if I'm going to be making like tent stakes or pot hangers or, stuff for around camp. It's a great blade, razor sharp. I've had it for a little while now, and I really like this blade. So that's another consideration you could do if you wanted to try one of these. I mean, any knife is going to work. I guess this is the Bear and Sons. It's like the Buck 110. I think I already told you that. I don't know. It's been a long day. I'm kind of tired. I'm hoping I won the giveaway. I really want one of those ferro rods you did because they're beautiful and they're cherry. Now, back on the subject. If you're doing spoons, Miss Bonnie, I need to make a leather sheath for this. You really need a good spoon knife. This is a Mora. I believe this is the 162, 164. Don't quote me, but it's the one with the pointy one and not the flat one. Yes, there are knockoff versions of this, as you know, because yours broke. I've had this for a little over a year now, and I love it. I mean, it's easy to sharpen. I sharpen it on a leather belt every time I use it, and if it gets really icky and needs a good sharpening, I just take like a painter stick, throw a different grit wet and dry sandpaper on it, glue it down, and just I sharpen it that way. I mean, if you need to know when you get a spoon knife how to sharpen it, let me know and I'll do a video on it for you. But I found a lot of different ways that you can sharpen these, and they really get like surgically sharp. They're amazing. Now, Moore does make different types of spoon knives. Like I said, this is the one with the pointy. Excuse me. And they do make another one. They're a little bit more pricier than their knives. They're like around $25, $28. But, you know, spend the money, buy it once. And it'll last you if you maintain it and, you know, treat it right. There's a guy, I believe his name is Ben Olford. He also makes spoon knives and green woodworking knives and other woodworking knives. He's from England. These are a little bit more pricey, but they're handcrafted. He makes them for right and left-handed people, and they'll just last you forever. But I'd invest in a Mora. You know, you can't go wrong. But I will tell you, when you're using these, protect your thumb. I mean, when you're working this way, you know, digging out the bowl of your spoon, this can slip and get you right here. Put a piece of leather on there, put a piece of duct tape or a glove. Everybody I know that owns one of these has been bitten by them. And it's ugly. It's just ugly. So, that's the spoon knife, which I know you're familiar with, but girlfriend, get a decent one before you end up losing a digit, because it's dangerous. And the whole thing about doing this is being safe and not cutting yourself. Okay, other things that are usable that I have. Glare. Scissors. Do they look like scissors? Chisels. These I mainly use for if I'm putting, like I use these when I made my takedown bow drill. I can't talk tonight. I don't know what is wrong. When I made my takedown buck saw. Jeez, I'm sorry. To notch out where you put your centerpiece in. But these can take out some good chunks of wood when you're making cups and bowls and kuksas and stuff like that. That's what I started out with when I was making a bowl, and it worked pretty good. I mean, it's a lot of work. Your hands do get tired, but you know, a little at a time. It's your hobby, it's your pace, and you know, do it the way you feel comfortable. So those you can use. This I bought. Oh, there goes the tripod. Oh, there. This I bought when I first started. And this is just like your basic wood carving kit. Sorry. That I think I got at like Northern Tool or something. But I tried to use one of the gouges, and it broke on me. I was doing a spoon, I think it was apple wood, and it just broke. I mean, these are fine if you want to use them for like detailing your project, but I don't recommend using these tips if you're trying to dig a bowl out of a piece of cherry or anything. I mean, they're good to have on hand um, for fine work and other crafts that you have, but I don't really recommend these. I don't personally use these for spoon carving unless I'm putting a design in the handle or, you know, on the back of the bowl or something. But yeah, not a good idea. Let me set these down. What I did find, however, is, let's see if I can get this. I'm going to end up on the floor here. It's a, there we go. It's a wood lathe turning toolkit. I picked this up at Harbor Freight for $18. And I know, Miss Bonnie, that you were on eBay stressing out over a bid on some ancient wood gouges. But I got these. Let me move this. This table is gonna go on the floor. Let me pull one out here. Obviously made for a wood lathe. I mean, there's no denying that. But these gouges are awesome. You're going to have to put a little bit of an edge on it. I have not used these yet because I haven't made any bowls or cookses or anything. Just sharpen up the edge. But if you were to make a bowl, you can get down in that piece of wood and you can hit it. You can chip away at it. And, you know, for $18, I've looked on different sites and stuff for just like one gouge, a 3/4 inch or an inch, and they were like anywhere from $17 to, you know, $50. And there's all different types of tips in here, but I know that you were looking at the gouges. But you know, Harbor Freight, I get some good tools from them, and pretty soon here I want to work on a bowl or a cup, and I want to put these into use. I haven't used them, so I can't tell you how they are, but like I said, I picked them up for $18. I just couldn't see spending $20 on one gouge when I can get a whole set of tools for less than 20. So that is what I use, Miss Bonnie. And I hope this helped you. I mean, if you have any questions, you know how to contact me. And I know you've been trying to get these spoons done for your family, and you know, you thought you were buying a good spoon knife, and it let you down. Go with Demora. You won't be sorry. I mean, there's another way you can do your bowl. I mean, I haven't burned a bowl. Oh, that didn't sound good. But you know what I mean. You can burn the bowl part of the spoon with a hot coal out of the fire. That's kind of cool. You know, it gives it that rustic look. But I know you're doing yours for more of a decorative thing for your grandkids and your son. So get the spoon knife. Excuse me. So these are just some of the tools I use. Like I said, I'm not telling people that they have to use these. I mean, that's what works for me. That's what I'm comfortable with. So, you know, like I said, I hope this video helps. And, yeah, that's it. Now I got to go back to doing some other projects now so I can put them on the tube. All right, Bonnie, let me know if you need anything. Hit me up. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you out. All right? Okay, everybody, thanks for watching. I got to go back to work now. Have a good night.